Cook with Kate. So it's episode 12, we're into our third week of lockdown, and I'm here to bring you recipes every weekday midday, to give you a bit of inspiration in the kitchen, help you out with recipes for minimal ingredients, and also recipes that are going to help boost your immune system and just keep you on tip-top form, so you can get through this really strange time. Every day we're dedicating the live stream to something that's related to the strange time that we're living in. I don't like using the word. And today, it's got to be dedicated to Boris's recovery, really, hasn't it? Whatever your political inclination, we do really want Boris to get better, and also everybody else who's there in intensive care. And please sending you get better vibes, and all the best to all your family. So there's our dedication for today. Let's hope it works. So today's recipe, we're going to get on with it because it's quite, I want to get to the point where we can take it out of the oven and you can see the finished object. It's chocolate courgette muffins, chocolate courgette cupcakes rather. I really love putting vegetables into cakes. I think it not only does it make it more healthy, they're one of your 5 a day, but also I think it adds really delicious flavour and makes the cakes really nice and moist. And that is particularly the case with carrot cakes, for instance, and with adding courgettes to cakes. So these are some courgettes that I've grated. I'm just trying to get the moisture out of them before they go into the cake. But first of all, we have found some chocolate. So this week we're doing cakes. We're doing cakes. We're not just doing cakes. We are doing quite a few this week, though. We're doing recipes with ingredients that are in my kitchen. So I'm not going to go shopping. However, I've broken the rules because I wanted to do these chocolate courgette cakes, and I thought I had chocolate in the cupboard and didn't. So I've been out and I went for a run this morning, quite a tough run actually, with Mark. He kept making me do sprints, and I popped into the shop. All I could get was this really very expensive dark chocolate, but we now have chocolate to make the cakes with. So I'm going to just pop the chocolate into a bowl. This is 150 grams. The recipe says 175 grams, but I think we'll be fine with 150 grams. This is really good quality 70% dark chocolate. So I'm just going to pop that over. If you can see, I've just got a pan of water. I'm just going to bring that to the boil and let the chocolate melt. Meanwhile, let's get rid of this. We're going to make the cake. So it's really simple. It's just got eggs, a little bit of sugar. We're not using butter. We're using sunflower oil. We've got the courgettes. Then we've got a little bit of self-raising flour and some bicarb. And that is basically it. We're going to add a little bit of cinnamon as well, because that really makes the flavour delicious. So we've got 2 eggs left, which is useful. These are really nice eggs from our local shop. So 2 really nice free-range eggs that I'm going to break into the bowl. Just going to bring up the live feed so that I can see who's with us today. It's been fantastic. We've had such good interaction with everybody since we started, and it's growing every day, which is really good. We've got the stats back from Facebook, and we've got I think our shares have gone up 700% and all sorts of fantastic stats. please do share, because that's the only way we can get the word out and get people to know about our 5 by 2025 initiative, which is that by 2025 we want every young person in the country to be able to leave home with 5 nourishing recipes that they can cook. So this lockdown is the perfect opportunity for parents to get in the kitchen with their kids and get cooking, get them inspired with cooking, let them loose on their own, see what a mess they can make and what delicious things they can conjure up. So I really do urge you to use this opportunity to encourage the kids to experiment a little bit in the kitchen. Hello Jill, how are you? How are you this morning? We've got Ben as well. Hi Ben. This is a really good recipe to cook with kids actually, because it's a cake, it's a chocolate cake, but then you've got a little bit of healthiness going on as well on the side with the courgettes. I remember making a batch of these for my son. Well, I've just made a batch of these. In fact, it was when I was making the book and I was just testing out the recipe. And he came home from mountain biking with loads of his friends, and they all fell on these chocolate cupcakes. And it was only afterwards that I told them that they were 1 of 5 a day and they had courgettes in them. They couldn't believe it. They were really, really surprised. So that's good, and they didn't mind either. So that's 200 mils of oil that I put in there, and then I'm going to put 125 grams of sugar. So it's not too much sugar because you get quite a lot of sweetness from the courgette and of course from the chocolate that's melting over there. So it's got 125 grams. How is everyone today? How are you feeling? Have you done your daily exercise in the beautiful sunshine? Has anyone actually, been suffered from coronavirus? Have you? Oh, mention the word. Sorry. Has anyone had any symptoms and are a bit worried? Because these recipes that I'm doing are really, really designed to keep your immune system as strong as possible. Hello, Nigel. How are you today? We're going to be making your marinated lemon chicken kebabs for dinner tonight. Oh yes, that's a very nice one. Are you going to get the barbecue out? Are you going to? Right, I'm just going to make a little bit of noise. It won't take long. Squeeze up the oil and eggs, the sugar, so it's nice and creamy. It's going all lovely and creamy. That didn't take long. So I've just given that a little whiz. It's gone all nice and thick and creamy. I'm gonna just have a look at the chocolate, which is almost melted. We want that to be melted because we're gonna add that to the mixture. And we're gonna squeeze out as much, got my sleeves up for this. I'm going to squeeze out as much of the moisture from the courgettes as we can. A good way of, if you're making doing this with grated cucumber for a cucumber raita or something, a good way of getting the moisture out is putting a little bit of salt on. But I don't really want to do that with a cake, so just going to have to use brute force really, and just squeeze out as much moisture as I can with my fingers, with my hands. There we go. So let's have a look. So we've got Nigel, Claire Simpson. Hello Claire, how are you? Has anyone done any exercise today? We've been on a run, and I'm really into Pilates at the moment. I've managed to get Mark into it as well, so I think we're going to do some Pilates. I found a YouTube link which I'd be very happy to share with you, and I was just thinking it might be a nice idea if you have any links that you've been using that have been particularly helpful in the lockdown. It'd be great to share them share them on the feed with us. So I'm just going to put the cucumber in the mix as well. I haven't bothered peeling it, so you've got all the fibre and the roughage from the cucumber peel as well. There we go, so I've got quite a lot of juice out of this as well. I'm just going to pop that over and wash that cucumber off my hands and give this a wipe. I think that's one thing that I didn't really learn as a kid, and that you might want to encourage your children to do, and that is clear as you go. I'm actually not very good at clearing as I go. I can make a bit of a mess in the kitchen. Mark's over there nodding in agreement. Yeah, I can make a bit of a mess in the kitchen, but I also make. I say that with the mess comes the imagination and the creativity. And I'm sticking to that theory. So we've got the chocolate, look at that. Oh, it's all lovely and melted. So dark chocolate is, if you're going to eat chocolate, it's the best chocolate that you can eat. I go for 70% or even 80 or 90% you can buy now. It's chocolate that has had the least amount of butter and sugar added to it. Yet it's still edible. If you went for the 100% cacao, that's very bitter. It's a very different taste. We use cacao in the Go Bites. For instance, these raspberry and cacao Go Bites haven't got any sugar added to them, but they're mixed with dates, and the dates adds the sweetness. So they're very delicious. But this dark chocolate has got a little bit of sugar added to it. So I'm going to weigh out the flour. We're going to put in 200 grams of flour. I'm just going to mix the courgettes in a little bit. There we go. Looks good. There we go. So if anyone's just joined, we're making chocolate courgette cupcakes with a little bit of cinnamon in as well. They are from the book. They're from the Go Faster Food for Your Active Family book. And they are actually a sneaky way, what do I say here? A sneaky way to your 5 a day, packed with vitamins A, C and iron. So, you know, if you're going to eat a cake, you may as well eat one of these cakes because they're actually going to do some good as well. So I'm going to put in 200 grams of this is self-raising flour. It's already sifted. If it was a different brand, you might want to sift it first. So there we are, 200 grams of self-raising flour. I'm going to add a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda. That just helps it all rise. And I'm also going to add a teaspoon. Keep up the good work. Oh, thank you, Nigel. I'm trying my best. Gillian, isn't it great when you catch people out with ingredients that they don't think they like? Ah, yes, it's sneaky, isn't it? I know, it's very good. Grating. Have you got any good methods of encouraging or getting your kids to eat vegetables if they're not that keen, or encouraging your kids to eat something new? Obviously, grating carrots and things into bolognese sauce is a tried and tested one, which it usually works. So I'm going to put a teaspoon of cinnamon in as well, and then I am going to. This is literally just about cool enough. In an ideal world, I would leave this chocolate to cool down a little bit, but let's pop it in, pour it in. Doesn't that look gorgeous? Lovely, 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 lovely. Of course, we've got Easter coming up soon, this week, in fact. We're going to be thinking maybe about what we're going to cook on Easter Sunday. We generally have roast lamb, so I think we'll see if we can get hold of a leg of lamb for Easter Sunday. Have we got any vegetarians? What's your go-to special meal for Easter Sunday if you're a vegetarian. So I've just popped the chocolate in there. I'm now going to just very gently stir that all in. Can you see that? Can you see that nicely? Hello Pat, how are you? We're going to put the recipe up for this. If you haven't got the copy of the book, we're going to put the recipe up on the feed so that you can get the recipe. And obviously if you want to buy the book, it's available on Amazon and it's available on our website on gobites.com. In fact, we have a discount code on gobites.com at the moment, which is called EnnaJoy10. So you can get 10% off Go Bites and the books at the moment. So that is all nicely combined. I've got the oven here already on at 180. I've got 190 here in the book, but I'm going to use 180 because I'm using these quite small cupcake holders because I haven't got any big ones. So we'll probably end up using half of this mixture, I would say, and we'll save the rest for later. So we've got, can I read that? Only £12. Oh, there's a deal on Amazon apparently. The book is £12.90, so that's £12.70. Sorry. So if you want to get hold of the book, Amazon is probably the best place for you at the moment. So we're just going to do a little bit of transference here and get the courgette cupcakes, chocolate courgette cupcakes into the oven. Can you see that nicely there? Yes. Into the oven to cook, and while it's cooking we'll just make some very basic butter icing to put on top. I would normally put chocolate butter icing on top, but we haven't really got enough chocolate, so I'm just going to use vanilla and pop that on. So these just go in about a dessert spoon of the mixture in each cupcake holder. If you were using, I mean these ones are really teeny, they're like mini fairy cakes, so normally you'd probably need a little bit more in each. In fact, the recipe makes about 12 normal cupcakes. I think we're going to get making a mess of this. Going to make about 24 of these small ones, but that doesn't matter. They go really nice and crispy on the outside as well, so we'll get more crisp, and then they're nice and gooey on the inside. So what have you done today so far, and what have you got in your plans? Have you done your daily exercise yet? How are you feeling? Let me know. We love these, Kate. I make them frequently and freeze them. Oh, that's okay. So that is interesting because I'm not a fan of freezing things because I tend to forget that they're there, which is stupid because you put things in the freezer and then if you're organised you know that they're there, but I put them in the freezer and a year later I'll find them at the bottom of the freezer. So maybe this time we'll make double the quantity and we will put some in the freezer, and then when the kids come back after this lockdown and we can actually see the rest of our families again, I can take them out. So this also, you could use this recipe to make a loaf as well. So you could maybe, like a loaf that you'd cook a banana bread in. That works really well as well. So I'm just going to fill up these a little bit more and pop them in the oven. And they should, I think they should be almost ready by the end of the Facebook Live. Just pop them in the oven. There's a lovely smell of chocolate all around the kitchen, which is very, very nice. I'm going to have to wash up this bowl for the butter icing quickly. You can see the back of my t-shirt, can't you? Enerjoy. So Enerjoy. Enerjoy is the hashtag that we use to describe anything to do with Kate Percy's Real Fast Food. So it's basically food that will obviously give you great taste, but will give you the right type of get up and go energy. So if you've just joined, I'm Kate Percy and I'm the founder of Kate Percy's Real Fast Food, author of these Go Faster food books, and creator of Kate Percy's Go Bites, which are little energy balls, really, really good for a natural energy snack, or if you're on the go. We do sell a lot in train stations and airports and places like that. We're obviously not selling them at the moment, but they're also online on gobites.com and on Amazon, Muscle Food, and Holland and Barrett. So while they're in the oven, those little, just check we've got the right temperature, yeah, those little cupcakes, we're going to make a little bit of frosting. Why not? I mean, you could have them without frosting if you look. Sandy, do you normally make them with frosting? Hi Faith, how are you? Big fan of these, great after training snack. Yes, they are. I mean, they're although they're a cake, they've got lots of fibre in them, so they're great for your gut health, great for your immune system. They've got minerals, they've got protein, you know, they're a pretty good snack when it comes to a cake. I would have to make about 4 batches in order to freeze some. My family don't wait for my baking to cool down. Ah yes, that is a problem. Sandy bought a second copy of the book and sent Michael off to university with it. Oh, that's good. So I think that's, you know, that's why we're so passionate about our 5 by 2025 mission, and that is, you know, that kids can go off to university and college, wherever they're going, and actually fend for themselves. It's just so important. You don't want to spend a life, you know, living off Deliveroo. So I've got some butter here, some nice unsalted butter. I'm going to make some butter icing. I'm just going to soften that down with the whizzer, and then I'm going to add, I think I'm going to add about 70 grams of icing sugar. I'm just going to give that one more whisk. You need to make the butter smooth before you put the icing sugar in, otherwise it can go a little bit lumpy, and it needs to be really nice and warm so that you don't get those lumps in the icing. And then I need a sieve. So 70 grams of icing sugar, we'll start off with 70 grams, sieve that in. There we go. Icing sugar, and then we will gently work that in to the batter mixture. This is a bit of a naughty recipe really, but I think we all need a few treats at the moment. I know we've got Easter coming up as well, but I think it's a bit of a difficult time for everybody, isn't it? I hope you're all feeling okay and that you're all safe and well as well. We always make frosting, works well with the freezing. Ah, okay. So what I'm going to do as well is add a little bit of vanilla. This is actually really strong Madagascan vanilla. So I'm just going to add a small amount. And pop that up. So that is the frosting ready for when the cakes come out. The nice buttery, icing, sugary frosting. There we go. I'm just going to have a look at the cakes. They need a little bit longer. They do need a little bit longer. So how is everybody? Oh, we've got loads of people online. Fantastic. So we've got Ben, Nigel, Claire. Really, 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 really appreciate you joining me. And it would be fantastic if you could share the live feed. I know yesterday we had a few Wi-Fi problems, and the feed broke right at the end, so you didn't get the very last bit, but we got through the whole recipe. But hopefully that won't happen today. I think a lot of places are experiencing Wi-Fi problems, and we are in Bristol, which isn't very good. But please share, and also please do, if you haven't already, download our free resources off the website. So we've got resources that cover the 3 macronutrients. So power of protein, we've got count on carbs and fats for fitness. Then we've got vitamins and mineral exercise, and then one on hydration as well. And they just talk you through how that works, how it relates to sport as well, if you're into your sport. And then at the end of each resource, there's a nice recipe. So at the end of protein one, hello, I am here. Hello, another technical hitch. Am I still there? Are we still online? Can you still hear me? Here we have a falafel recipe at the end of that resource. So sorry about that. I am still here, and I won't hit the camera again. Sorry, I threw one of the resources at the tripod and knocked it over. Sorry. Right, just going to have a look at these cakes and see how they're doing. Do you know what? I think they're not quite ready, but they should be ready in a couple of minutes. So what I'll do is I will post the picture of the final version of the cupcakes online on the feed, so you can see what they look like. But please join me every day at midday. Tomorrow I'm making a tagine. So I've got a couple of pieces of chicken. I've got some chickpeas, and I've got a butternut squash. And we're going to make a tagine with couscous for lunch or supper. So really nice lockdown lunch tomorrow. So if you'd like to join me and you've got those ingredients, maybe cook along with me as well. That would be fantastic. Then on Thursday we're going to make a soup, a really nice tomato soup. Friday is a lemon crust cake, but I've just realised it's Good Friday, so we should be making hot cross buns. But I think we will do an Easter special at some point. We've just got to decide when to do it, but we'll let you know when that's going to be. I'm going to have one more look in the oven to see whether they're ready before we finish. Well, they actually do need a couple more minutes, but just to show you how lovely they come out afterwards. And then what you need to do, I'm going to put them back in, give them another 5 minutes, but when you bring them out of the oven, what I do is leave them in the oven tray, in the baking tray, for about 5 minutes for them to cool down a bit, and then transfer them to a wire rack and let them cool down completely. Although not in Gillian Potts' house, because it seems that all her food goes while it's still hot with her 2 boys around. So really lovely to see you today. Thank you so much for joining in. We've got loads and loads of fantastic comments, but please share, and we'll see you tomorrow for tagine making. Bye.